All right, we continue our broadcast on the SACP's 14th National Congress, of course, today on its third day. Let's say good morning once again to our reporter, Aldrin Sampear. He is in Boksburg.
Good morning, Palisa. We continue with our coverage here at Boksburg. As you've indicated, the SACP's 14th Congress taking place here in Boksburg, and of course it's day 3, and yesterday there was the elections of the top officials, and amongst those who were elected is Mayor Joyce Moloi-Moropa, who joins me now this moment. Do we say congratulations when we start off this conversation?
Yeah, well, thanks for the congratulations. Good morning to you, Aldrin, and the viewers at home.
Mayor Joyce, I just quickly want to go into this one straight away. Where are the females of the SACP? Why don't we see females standing next to you elected as party leaders?
Yeah, of course, it can be lonely if you are only one, but I think we've already paved a path. The General Secretary did made in his speech a pronouncement that we are undergoing an organizational renewal. So even we'll be looking also on the succession issues. That's why we're also going to align properly our leadership and ensure that even women are also within the officials themselves, not only one, but we will be considering all those factors. So I think we have thought about it. We are looking at it within the entire succession and organizational renewal. So it is okay. We do have very capable women in the party. I must say, even if I'm alone there, I don't really work alone as a woman. We are a collective of women, and I'm sure without them I wouldn't actually succeed anyway. Just the collective path of working in the party is the one that makes the burden very easy.
You look at the likes of Mayor Ruth First, and I see there's one of the banners there, and one then asks yourself, what could have gone wrong over the past few years where women aren't represented on the SACP? If the SACP is a leader in non-racialism, being the first political party in this country to be a non-racist party, why is it not the first to be leading in terms of the emancipation of women and showing confidence that women can lead?
No, we did have quite capable women who'd been leading in the party. Before we were even in the party ourselves, we had various women, the Dora Tamanas, I can mention them all, who'd been really leading properly. Leadership is not necessarily only within the officials. We look to the entire collective. Even at the moment, we do have quite good and capable women. Of course, if you look at the background of the party, in the past, it used to be dominated by males, but if everything is changing now. There are a lot of women. It will also change face, and surely if you only see one within the officials, that does not mean it's only one. I've always worked with a lot of capable women, the Jenny Shriners, all of them, Linda Lodunjwa, you mentioned them. They are all there, and we sometimes forget that, by the way, you also have to balance the officials, but it does not necessarily mean that they are not there. They are very qualitative, I must say, far more good.
Would you at all say that women themselves are not willing to step up to the plate? Because even if you look at yesterday's nominations, for instance, all those nominations were uncontested, and I'm specifically just focusing on the women now. No women stood up and said that I want to, even if it means that I'm contesting against Mayor Joyce or I'm contesting against Ndate Soli-Mapai.
Possibly is because of the nature of how we're groomed. The issue of leadership for us, it's not in the forefront. What we are doing, it's the most critical thing. So we don't actually get preoccupied that if I can be, National Treasurer, if I can be, you really listen to what they tell you. Where do we want to put you? You don't follow. I think part of that is because we don't get preoccupied about thinking about leadership positions. We also don't really think that can't we equate the number. We work as a collective, and I don't really think that we we looked at it negatively. Possibly, maybe if we need to top up the officials and put the face of women, it's just putting up the face. But we're all part of the same leadership, the same collective of the Central Committee.
Just quickly on one of the presentations that we expect today, and that Jeremy Cronin would be delivering a presentation on the hot debate around state power.
Yes.
Well, we know what the expectations are, but from your personal point of view, if the Congress, hypothetically speaking, does take a resolution on the party should contest independently, do you think that financially the SACP is ready for that?
When you say financial, you mean do we have money?
Yeah.
Of course, the party does not have billions and billions of money. We also do not have, support of Guptas or so on. We battle on our own. We try to put up all this. We do definitely make some means. For an example, yesterday when we were putting up our finance report, there was an issue of endowment, which has been approved by Congress, which will look into self-sustainability of the party. We are looking at all forms of sustaining the party. Our belief is that the party should sustain itself, so that we don't get dictated by anybody. This is the agenda we want you to drive. Yes, of course, we'll battle somewhere. You'll see that it's not as easy, but the fact of the matter is that we can, make things meet. I'll just give an example with all the paraphernalia, all the regalia we're wearing at the moment. We worked with unions like SACP. They do it. It becomes much cheaper. It's a home brand. We look into all those areas. Where can we make things cheap? So we won't be expensive, but we will drive the programs like we've been doing in the past. Definitely, in terms of finances, it won't be that easy, but we will, as a collective, look at the best ways of how do we facilitate and solicit funds to sustain the party.
You speak of the Guptas and you say that the SACP doesn't have the Guptas to fund the party. What's the SACP's take on disclosing, all political parties disclosing their donors, disclosing who they get money from? Just in a few seconds, please.
Well, of course, when I said Guptas, I just meant that the capitalists don't really dictate our agenda. We wouldn't like that. Of course, we don't have somebody who says we are supporting the party and bring all the money in the world. But in terms of the question that we are posing, you said?
I'm asking that, do you think that all political parties should disclose their funding, who the donors are?
Of course, we have discussed that in the party, and we did agree that we are going to have disclosure of who has what and so on. We are putting up the systems and the processes. It had been approved in the 13th Congress, but we are actually looking at the mechanisms as well for that to be managed properly. But we definitely have looked into that, and we always want to be transparent as the party in terms of what we're doing. So far, we don't foresee that we may have members that might cross the line. We believe that as party cadres, our objective is to ensure that we drive the programs of the party and remain loyal and honest. And of course, we don't get coerced and diverted to wrong ideals.
Joyce Moloi-Moropa, thank you so much for your time. There you have it from Joyce Moloi-Moropa's. We've indicated today is day 3, and we expect the South African Council of Churches to bring us a discussion on the state capture. Remember that they did an independent investigation, and allegations of state capture came out there, as well as an academic report, but also, as I've been indicating, the veterans. And it seems as though, just looking at the preparations here, that I have heard just a twinkle that chances are that the former president Thabo Mbeki was expected on Tuesday to be here, would actually be part of the deliberations that will be taking place later on this afternoon. It's back to you in studio.